there's a lady I saw, hey, ati ameachwa na chali yake. Ameambua, amemchokoza, akaambia chali, what? You play me, you're player, you're bad, you're a loser, you're nothing. I want nothing to do with you. Like, seriously, how could you do that to me? Me, watch me and you are so OVE, like over. Akaachwa, akapigia madem zake, hey, Lina, where are you? Hey, Shika, where are you? Irene, Wabo, kujeni. It's party time. What's up, girl? Nakwambia sinani aliniacha Hillary kimeenda. Guy, ule accountant here, like akwende na huko, akanyagwa na tractor, akufe, achukuliwe na kitractor, aokotwa hivi, aende atupwe Dandora. How can you do that to me? Guys, let's get into my car and go, yeah. I don't know what's with ladies and small cars. Okay, not small cars. Little cars. Dudus. Alafu ziko na ngoma. Those dudus. Small cars. Ziko na hewa. Kanapita na wamefunga vioo zote na unakasikia. Mpaka akana mbio kadudu. Kanaenda hivi juu ya ufa yenye imewekwa.
Most people did the only thing that was sensible at that point when you become a quadrillionaire. You go to England to be a nurse. That's the next level. So people started sending a lot of money back home, and you had a lot of beautiful women, you know, like beautiful women like this. And what would happen is she looks the part, but she doesn't sound it. So you get girls that speak like this, you know.
So I'm from the Democratic Republic of Congo. Does anyone know where that is? One thing I realized, every time I say to someone, I'm from Congo, every Nigerian comes, oh, we know Longomba. But yes, I am, and I'm a very proud Congolese. Very proud Congolese. I left Congo at the age of 8, moved to London. Well, I say moved like it was my choice. My parents took me to London. And I remember very early on, you just knew you didn't belong. A lot of ignorance happened when I was growing up, which made me a very strong African very early. I had my friends Tom. Tom was very British, very English. Tom will come up to me and say, so Edmund, I heard you're African. I said, yes, I am African. He said, well, can you speak African? I said, what does that mean? So we'll speak some African. I said, I'm not going to speak a cocktail of languages. What are you talking about? Well, Africa is a country, so you must be able to speak Africa. I said, stupid fool. I had to educate him. I said, no, there's different parts of Africa. There's different countries. You have West, you have East, you have South, you have North. He goes, tell me more. I said, for example, you might have the Ghanaians in West Africa. See, Ghanaians are very, very different. Ghanaians are the type of people who, do we have any Ghanaians here?
I have a 12-year-old nephew and niece, right? Like every time I have to go home, I have to buy them something. So they'll call me before time. So when my nephew will be like, okay, can you please buy me a PlayStation game? Like, which one? FIFA 2010. Okay, cool, I'll buy it for you. But my niece, she will confuse me. Can you please buy me the High School Musical DVD? I'm old, I don't know these things. What's that? It's a movie. Okay. I'll buy it for her. I get home, she gets a prima donna. This is not High School Musical. That's High School Musical. It's like, no. This is Sarafina. It's the same thing. Freedom is musical.
What an amazing lineup. Eddie Caddy from DRC, Dumiso Lindy from South Africa, Carl Joshua and Kube, who are here from Zimbabwe. Thank you for being here, gentlemen.
Yes.
Such a pleasure. I want a sweatshirt. How come I missed out on this boat?
Yeah, they should have got yourself. Because, you know, now suddenly our sweatshirt don't feel as good.
I know.
Because you've got a nice outfit on now.
Thank you.
Just got sweatshirt.
I'm working.
Dressed for the party.
Those guys.
I'm working. Thank you for being here.
Yes.
Is it your first time in Kenya?
My first time.
Your first time?
Yes, I feel like blowing a vuvuzela right now.
All right, I'm going to let you guys introduce yourselves and tell us how you got into the comedy industry. I'll start with you, sir.
I'm Eddie Caddy from DRC. I was born in DRC, spent my first 8 years, but I live in London. I've raised in London, but very much a Congolese. I got into comedy just, I used to be a show host at university. And off the back of that, a lot of my friends were like, you know, you crack a few jokes, you should try stand-up. So I told my parents, instead of using my degree to actually make some money, I'm going to crack some jokes.
Nice.
And so, yeah, I got into comedy from like 2005. And it's just built up from there. You know, I fell in love with it, and it's opened up a lot of doors, and it's allowed me to see different parts in the world, like Nairobi.
Right, and
Of
now you're
course, so
here.
now
right.
I'm here, yeah.
Exactly. You are not just a comedian. We're going to talk about that. But next, sir.
She knows something that we don't know.
I know.
Anyway,
All right, tell
on
us
the
your
way
story.
from South Africa, yes, and why comedy? It's always a friend. It's always a friend. He's
It's
like,
always a friend,
hey
yeah.
man, you should try
should
this.
do this.
I didn't even know what comedy was from where I come from. I come
Right.
from, in South Africa, it's like different provinces. I come from the Eastern Cape. So yeah, I didn't know what comedy was. So my friend was like, man, you are funny around us. Just try it,
Right.
you know. And one time at school, higher learning, they were giving away a phone, the student night stuff, and then this is my friend like, come. So I jumped up.
Yeah.
I didn't even know what I was gonna say. I just started talking, you know, just doing stuff. People started laughing. I ran out of time, you know. So this other guy wins the phone, and I'm like, man, the next time this happens again, I will be prepared, and I want to win that phone.
Yeah.
And it happened the next year, and I won the phone.
And you won the phone.
the
You
MC
got better.
that was a popular comedian. He's like, hey man, we've got comedy nights. This and this. Come check it. Come test it out. And as they say, the rest is geography. So I'm traveling now. And then I'm in Kenya. I'm just happy to be here.
How many years? How many years
How many
have you been
years
in?
since 2003, 4?
Wow. Okay.
Professionally, 2005.
Fantastic. Both of you, 2005. All right.
I love that.
Awesome. Okay, my third man at the end from Zim.
Okay, so I used to be the biggest Zimbabwean stand-up comedian in the world.
Okay.
I've lost lots of weight, diabetes, but that's a long story.
You look good.
Yeah. So thank you. Yeah. Also, economic decline in Zim, so that will do that to you. So. I got into comedy because my dad was actually a stand-up comic, but he did it for free at weddings. He didn't know it was a thing, and so I grew up around comedy. So while other people like looked at some of the big acts, I wanted to be like my dad. So I thought I was going to do comedy only when my dad died, because that's in Zimbabwe. That's how succession works. You see that in our policy. So I waited until my dad died,
That came
and then
funny.
So my dad died, and I literally used his jokes initially to start out my career, because you wouldn't come to me for royalties, because
Right.
we don't really believe in ancestors.
Are we laughing about
I
this?
know this is and
really wants us to
Sorry.
start.
yeah, no, so I was a
Comedy
late,
is paying people.
exactly.
Absolutely.
So I'm a late bloomer. And I only started comedy in my 30s, so that was 2010. That was the first time I did comedy, but unfortunately I used the wrong method. I started with a one-man show and then worked my way backwards.
wow, that's
Wow.
Yeah, so I started with the show that had the one joke
That's
the whole
powerful.
hour. So
Yeah. And the rest is history.
He told
And the rest
he
is
told
history.
one joke for an hour. So I was walking, and then I walk and I turn the corner and I'm still walking for an hour.
But you're here, and you are international African comedians.
Yes.
That's basically what we've decided to call y'all.
I love that, man.
Right?
I like
It
that.
is.
I
You're
like that, man.
international. You're international.
international.
The one thing, looking at the research, finding out about you, the one thing that you have in common is that a lot of your material is based on your everyday experiences, your own life.
Yeah.
You draw a lot of what is happening currently globally.
Yes.
Tell me a little bit about how, kind of the navigation or, the choreography of your material, how it all works.
I think with me, one thing the minister mentioned in terms of not really knowing what comedy was, and so growing up, I didn't know people like the Eddie Murphys and the Bill Cosbys and all those guys were actual stand-ups. I just thought they were movie stars.
Oh, wow.
They were just actors.
Exactly.
Right.
It's when I started doing comedy stand-up, and then I realized there's that journey, and for me the inspiration just came from, especially at the beginning, I would just blabber on. Right, and I had things to talk about. Especially growing up in the UK, there was a lot of misconception about being African, being Congolese to the other Africans, because we still do Nigerians and Ghanaians, who are the predominant force of Africans in the UK.
Right.
So my story was always kind of breaking down stereotypes, comparing the different Africans, and letting, especially in the UK, letting the other guys know what are the different types of Africans, And I was like, that's
Because they are different types of Africans.
Yeah, because I had a friend who said to me, "Can you speak African?" And I said, like, "What is that? Like, is that a cocktail of different languages? Like, well, just put different languages, shake it,
Four
and let it
countries
out."
represented
Exactly.
here.
So a lot of people thought that. So I had to let them know it's a continent. and what's the difference between the West Africans, Southern Africans, East Africans, and then go deeper into actually telling, you know, the difference in the way they dance, the way they speak, their different accents, the type of foods they eat, their expectation, their ambitions.
Yeah.
You know, all those things were very, very important for me. So in terms of just going down that trip, and I took pride in being able to educate people about being African. And I think because it was something I was so passionate about, I didn't realize the impact that it was having. But when I started realizing it, I wrote more stuff based on that. So I would use stories from home, from my family, my parents, you know, and stuff like that. And that's pretty much my comedy. It's very cultured. And of course, you know, when I come to Africa, they will see me as a sort of British comedian. Maybe I'm not as attached to the continent as much as they, you know, the rest of the comedians.
It's that Cockney accent that sells you
it's
out,
sort
mate.
of that
Yeah,
Cockney
it's that little accent that sells you out.
It does come. But I can switch, you know. I can just switch anytime.
All right, so we have a caller on the line. Her name is Beatrice. I think she wants to say hello. Good morning, love.
Hello, Kobe.
Hi, love. How are you?
I'm good.
Thank you for calling. Say hi to
I want to say you're looking good.
Oh, thank you, Beatrice. Who paid you today?
Thank you, honey.
Those jumpers, tunazitanga jumper.
Even me, I want, actually. The people back here, they're sitting over here with their jumpers. We want sweatshirts. All right.
Yeah, I want one.
Okay, honey.
You have to dance for one.
Yes, you do. Beatrice, you have a question or comment for my guests?
Yeah, I want to say, okay, congrats to Churchill.
Yes.
He's doing a good job.
Absolutely.
Another thing I want to tell them, welcome to Kenya. Karibu Kenya.
Asante.
Asante.
So you want to be there?
Yeah.
Are you going?
But kuja next time, lakini ka jumper.
Okay, all right. No, come to the concert. You'll find your to the show. You'll find your sweatshirt there. That's it. That's how it's gonna work. Thanks for calling.
Okay.
Thank you. Yeah, fans. You guys have fans. People who are obsessed with you, followers. Yeah, it's true. I've been
We don't call
researching.
them fans anymore. We call them firm.
Yeah. So tell me a little bit, of course, about yourself, growing in the industry, finding material that works for you and keeps you grounded as a man.
Yeah, I talk a lot about my family because that's what I know, and then I branch out from that, you know, and stuff I've seen, stuff I've experienced, the travels, going to Nigeria the first time, you know, so all those things, you know. I'm a storyteller than a joker, if I can put it like that. So if somebody came to me and say, we get a lot of that. You're a comedian, tell me a joke. I can't tell you a joke. You have time for a story, sit down, buy drinks, buy food. I'll tell you a story. You know, so yeah, so I get a lot of my material from that, to just these travels. Like even now, my eyes are open, my third eye is open, my comedy eye, you know, just what I can pick up there. Last night, this is the first time they were teaching us the language.
Swahili.
So what she said, is it Karibu?
Yeah, Karibu, Sasa, Poa.
And then when you reply, say Asante.
Yes. Wow, good.
Yeah.
What's the other word you like?
Then he said, what did he say? He said, Asante. No, before that, he said Asante. And then I said, no, I prefer Shakira, not Ashanti. But, but my favorite word is it?
Kidogo.
Kidogo.
Small, tiny.
You said Kidogo
No, I'm
it
impressed.
sounds like a song.
But wait. This is from yesterday?
Yeah, that's not. Yeah.
But he's now saying Kidogo to everything. And
To everything.
It's not.
I'm gonna make a song. I promise you. I wanna go to South Africa. I wanna make a
Kenya,
song.
we don't do
Kidogo
anything
feet.
Kidogo.
Kidogo car.
I love it. All right. What about you, sir? What is your style and what do you draw from?
Well, you know, coming from Zim, I always feel like on the international arena, Zimbabwe is always losing. I feel like that's what's happening. People only want to talk about the politics, and I just got tired of it. There's so much more happening. People don't know that my dog gave birth to 5 lovely puppies. That's what I wanted people to know. I wanted people to know that there's more types of Zimbabweans than just me. Like I'm a blend of two tribes.
Yeah.
So in a lot of ways, I'm like, you know, half of one, half of the other. And I just want people to know that we've got stories to tell. So my process is really about trying to, one, show Zimbabweans that you can dream and you can follow your dreams. I mean, comedy has taken me to amazing places. I mean, I always talk about the fact that comedy has taken me to 37 cities around the world. Wow. I mean, 36 of them are in Zimbabwe. But all I'm saying is that it's just been an incredible journey for me. And I want to share that with the world. I want to share the Zimbabwean perspective. Okay. You know, there's more to Zimbabwe than Robert Mugabe.
Amazing.
Awesome, man.
Amazing. All right, can you guys repeat after me?
Yeah.
Bungoma.
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 It is a place here in Kenya.
Right.
All right. And there's a caller from there who wants to say hi. Good morning. Bungoma. Misiku. It's Misiku from Bungoma.
Ziku. Bungoma.
Hi.
Hi,
How are you?
I'm fine. My name is Boaz Nadianya from Bungoma.
Fantastic. You have a question or comment, sir?
Hi, doing something things that would make
Baba?
people to laugh, to be very joyful, and I congratulate them.
So yeah. Okay, wait. Misiku, calm down. Okay, you. What did you say? We couldn't quite hear you in the studio.
Hello.
Yes, go on.
And I have one question to
Okay, you have a question? Go ahead.
them.
Yes.
Yep. I didn't.
I think we have a problem. Yeah, look what you did.
Yeah.
To poor guy from all the way in Western
I
Kenya.
think what he was trying to say was that if you put 310 on my M-Pesa, I think that's what I heard. I think I heard that. I think that's one of the things that I faintly picked up. So let's just give him the
Kidogo.
details. Yeah, if you can just put
Okay,
yeah.
so
Thank you.
Mukis, we are gonna hook you up, all right, with the M-Pesa details. No, all right. So let's talk about your industry in your own, I guess, country or where you reside, how it works, and is there pressure when you go outside of your comfort zone, where people know you, you've grown up with them, these are your family, they will support you even when you're having a bad day. And you come to Nairobi and there's just a disconnect. Does that happen? Do you feel under pressure today?
I think that's the excitement of comedy.
Okay.
Because the whole point of comedy is to be able to share stories with people that you've never met before. One thing I've always found fascinating, the guys might agree with me on this, is that you may be performing in front of 200 people who you've never met before, right? And you may never see again. But within 15 minutes, you fall in love. They fall in love with you, you fall in love with them. And that's something that's pretty special. It doesn't just happen anywhere, mainly, especially comedy. With musicians, a lot of the time, it's like, we've seen this person perform, we like the song. With comedians, people come in and like, okay, make us laugh. And they say laughter is the best medicine. So the end result of a successful show is that people who would have never, ever thought of you before suddenly fall in love with you. And I think that's the excitement. And, from London, for me, I always feel like if I come to Africa, is kind of, getting recharged, getting more stories, getting that sort of confirmation that, I'm doing something right, something to take back, And of course, Congo is French speaking, and it's a totally different culture. I mean, I do comedy in English. I've grown up doing comedy in English, and switching it to another language, it changes the humor totally. So there is an industry there. It's pretty new. It's sort of growing and stuff. So I haven't had a chance to actually do stand-up shows there per se. But in terms of just coming to somewhere like Kenya, the whole thing is just to see.
It's exciting.
Yeah, of course. How would they take my jokes? Because you want different countries to take your jokes differently. Everyone always picks different parts.
Right.
Anyway, and it gives you a chance to write new material as well.
Sir, what about you?
What was the question?
The question is, do you feel pressure when you step outside of your comfort zone?
Oh, good question.
Thank you.
Yes, as you said, we love the challenge. You don't want to remain in a comfort zone.
Yeah.
I can be home, perform all the time, but the minute I lose that happiness and the love for what I do, it's a bad place to be as a performer. So when you go out and branch out, it gives you that fire again, So it puts you under pressure to come up with material that will work that place or there, and or to spread your stories, So that's growth for me, So yeah, that's.
Amazing, yeah, and of course, do you always wonder about context and relatability when you are in a different place?
Yeah. I mean, it's actually weird because comedy shows you two things. It shows you how similar we are, and also shows you how diverse we are at the same time. So sometimes you come to Kenya and you see things, for instance, that you wouldn't see in Zimbabwe, like electricity, water, But you relate to some of these things because you remember them as memories. But also we're coming from Zimbabwe and we're like a new place in terms of trying to figure out how to speak freely about certain things. And so when I perform outside of Zimbabwe, that's actually getting into the comfort zone because now I get to perform freely because in Zimbabwe it's not as free to say certain things. So being around comics who can say certain things, it kind of teaches me where their countries have also come from because they also came from that place. And so for me, I don't look at it as, okay, Zimbabwe is just like like a repressed society at the moment.
Yeah.
I look at it as a country that's transitioning to being a free place to speak, and comedy becomes that vehicle, because when we're in Kenya has produced more Robert Mugabe quotes than Zimbabweans have ever produced, because that's not legal to do that in Zimbabwe. But what the Kenyans are doing is helping to soften the blow in Zimbabwe, making it possible for spaces to exist for people like me. So comedy has a healing quality that's there, and on the African continent, a beautiful thing is happening in comedy in that perspective.
I love your perspectives, gentlemen. Right, we have a caller. I think he's been holding on the line for a second. Hello, good morning. See, look what happened. Benson, call back.
There's something going on with these calls.
Yeah.
They need to put that 310 first.
I feel like people are just
M-Pesa first, the 310 first. All right, so when you look at, I guess, what you've mentioned, Eddie Murphy and, you know, the Richard Pryors who came before, but when you start to look at where we are globally, that there is a keen eye on Africa.
Yes.
And they're coming back. You know, they've realized that there's something cooking here. They've even taken Trevor Noah, right, who replaced Jon Stewart, which is a huge feat for the industry. Yeah. What do you see when you look at the future of comedy within the continent? And are we where we're supposed to be, or are we growing organically?
It's not like they're coming back. They never left. Come on. They never left. Coming back. They were watching. You know, they've been watching. They've been laughing.
Doing the safaris
and
waiting for the...
There you go. And I think sometimes we just underestimate ourselves. It's like with anything. I believe personally with Africa we're the originals in everything. Right. That's the reason why you'll have people come to Kenya and want to go to a safari park, because they can't really get there anywhere else, really. Yeah. You know, so it's the same thing with comedy. We are storytellers. You know, I've got friends who are a million times funnier than me. They would just freeze if they go on stage. That's the difference, you know. And a situation like Trevor Noah just goes to show you that there is a need, there is a market, and we shouldn't feel grateful. Yeah. I don't. Personally, it's not about feeling grateful. It's just saying, yeah, that's right. You know, there should be more.
About time.
It's about time. Where were you?
Recognize
you were around on safari.
They do this. We do this with every time. They're like, stop. One, and then that's it. You gotta wait. So it's a good thing, you know. It's also encouraging for those who don't share my perspective, you know, that don't feel that it's possible to be able to cross over and do great things. So those things are a reminder that Africa is very relevant in the global market, and not just comedy. Yeah. So many other things.
Absolutely, yeah, I agree with you. We have Benson back on the line. Good morning, Benson. He's got his TV on. Benson, turn off your TV, darling.
Okay.
He wants to hear himself.
Yeah, he does. He's on air. He's on live TV with international comedians.
I love my voice.
Sasa, Benson.
Poa sana mama.
Poa. Uko na swali? You have a question, comment?
Nashukuru na karibisha ndugu zetu kutoka South Africa.
He would like to welcome his brothers from Africa. Okay? I'll translate for you.
Thank you.
And appreciate them for being also very good comedians.
Thank you, Benson.
I'm sure they are also going to learn a lot from Kenya, especially from Churchill Line.
Absolutely. Asante, Benson. How is Narok?
Very beautiful.
Okay, now, do you guys have comedy night in Narok?
Not really.
You should start, Benson, so that when these guys come the next time they come to your town.
We have, of course, among the Maasai, very great comedians like Peter Sangale.
Yeah, it's true. Absolutely.
Kwa vioja mahakamani.
Thank you, Benson. Thank you so much for your contribution. Asante. Yeah. Right, so yes, the night is happening. It's finally here. We've all been looking forward to it. Tell me a little bit about how you heard about this Kenyan platform, about Churchill.
I performed with Churchill, got a chance to perform with Churchill last year, December. It's a Comedy Central festival, comedy festival. Yeah. So we were doing the Africa part of it. And was he part of the other one?
Yeah, he was. He was on the Comedy Central one.
Yeah, the Comedy Central one.
Okay.
So he was afterwards. Hey man, hey, you know Churchill. Hey man, listen. I like what you do, and I want my people to see what you do. You know,
he sold it to you.
Yeah. Hey, you know, they will love you in Kenya. But speak to my guy. We'll take your details, and we will get back to you. And I thought he was joking.
You're so good. You're so good. That's exactly Churchill.
And I thought he was joking. You know. And 1212, I get an email. Hey, we need your details. We need this and that. Are you free on this date? And then we've got this show. I'm like, what? Yeah, and who's on the lineup? We've got Carl. We've got Eddie. I've been performing with Eddie since 2009,
Yes.
8.
There was 9.
So this is a nice
somewhere
reunion
there, you
happening
know?
here.
Yeah.
That's
So
cool,
I was
man.
like, wow, with all this talent, put me on. So shout out to Churchill.
And you're here. And you're here. What about you, sir? How did it happen for you?
Wow, yeah, it was Comedy Central. We were on the same lineup. The nice thing about these guys is literally when I became a comic was I Googled African comics. Every single day I'd go online, I'd look at the Google search, go extra page, and just keeping a database, reading the bios and that kind of thing. So when I finally got to meet Churchill, we had this amazing conversation with Salvador about that Africa matters. Africa matters to the world, and it's important for us to start a circuit. It's really important to do that. And I remember when we were having this conversation, and I'm like, guys, if we do not, because I'm a graphic designer, I was like, if we do not create a poster visual of something that what we're discussing right now, it's never gonna happen.
Right.
And then Churchill, same thing, is like, yeah, talk to my guy, and then the next thing, I see a WhatsApp group come up. I see the names on it, and I'm like, it's happening finally, and this is incredible, because what people don't understand is that it's not a promoter calling comics, it's a comic calling comics, and this is a historic type of a show where it's the comedians are just taking ownership of the space in Africa. So
it's amazing. And this lineup is incredible. These three gentlemen literally represent a huge lineup of such amazing local and African and international comedians who will be performing at Carnivore. It's happening tonight.
Yes.
It's incredible. I'm so excited.
And you think his accent is deep, you should meet a guy called Daliso.
Daliso,
oh, my word.
yes.
Wow.
Daliso's got a beautiful voice.
All right, before we go, I think it's important that we talk about this. A lot of comedians, local comedians, have to have a second job or a side gig or another hustle. Money is an issue in the industry, and I don't believe this is a Kenyan issue. I think it's something that has come as a challenge for many people. What can you say about remuneration? Is it the audiences, the masses who should support, show up, buy the tickets, be there, and how do we start?
I think there is a demand for laughter. Just like there's a demand for music and a lot of things. So when I finished university, it made sense for my parents that I was going to go straight into a normal job, right? And my dad he just didn't get it, and I think I fell ill at one stage, and I had this soft spot for a while. And Dad came to watch me perform, and he didn't want to come, but I'm his son. He may lose me tomorrow. So he came to watch me perform, and it was like 500 people in the audience. Everybody was laughing but my dad. Everybody were laughing. And every time I looked, my dad was not laughing, right? And at the end of the show, I came to this guy and I was like, Dad, all I could see was nodding. Like, you didn't even laugh. He goes, no, you're fantastic. You are fantastic. I said, but Dad, everybody laughed. What was your favorite joke? He goes, all of them. But I'm like, but what happened? He goes, no. It was great, but I was too busy counting the money. 500 people, times 10%. This is a good career. Continue. And that's exactly what happened. I think it's worked for me over the years. I think you have to stick at it. A lot of people come in thinking you're just going to make money overnight. But it's like anything. But we promote, we almost do our jobs and we wait for people to promote us. You're only as good as your last gig.
That's true.
So if you do well, you go into another gig, you go to a bigger gig, you go to another. So, and you can expand, you can go into TV, you can go into radio. So being a comedian allows you to go into other things. Like I listed some of the greats that have gone into movies and
you
TV
also
and stuff,
act, voiceover, everything.
And
that being a comedian gives you that opportunity.
Absolutely.
Oh, great, fantastic. Guys, we've run out of time, but it's important that we play the promo just so we can give our viewers an idea of what to expect tonight. We're giving away tickets as well, and I'm hoping sweatshirts. I hope you guys are giving away sweatshirts. They're over there just smiling. All right, take a look at what you should expect. Here we go.
Are you ready to laugh? 7 African comedy giants are here to make you laugh and laugh and laugh. Patrick Salvador.
You dance with a Nigerian woman, you get a free massage.
Daliso Chaponda.
Thou shalt not steal. But nowhere does the Bible say thou shalt not swap.
Dumiso Lindi, Alban Kosi, Kadi, Carl Joshua Nkube,
Fesa Hamo, MC Jesse, Aman, and Slippy.
To get your advance ticket, dial *229 *29 hash.
allticketsasa.com. 2,000 regular, 4,000 VIP. The Africa Laugh Festival, 29th July, Carnival Grounds. Get ready for the night of your life.
Amazing stuff right there. And as I told you earlier, we're giving away tickets. We're going to give away tickets, right?
Yes, we are.
I think so. Do you guys have the...
Did you
No,
bring the
okay.
tickets?
So listen, these guys are everywhere.
Yeah.
They're on Snapchat. They're on Facebook. They're on Twitter. They're on Instagram. They're on Pinterest.
And High Five.
High Five.
And
MySpace.
We're still catching up.
Hotmail. Everywhere.
Pen and pad.
Yeah, you can catch us.
You can also send a letter to their village. No, all right? Log on to our social media platforms where I'm going to connect you to these guys. They're everywhere. And also great material online that you guys can interact with. But come tonight. It's going to be amazing. I'm going to be there. So you guys have to come on down. We asked you a question earlier on the show. This is the opportunity for you to win these tickets. There it is. What is it? You know what? I can't pronounce this. Someone has to help me. What is the real name of the bushman who plays the role of...
But is that correct? Because it's meant to be spelled with an exclamation.
Isn't it, yeah?
An exclamation is
when-
used to...
How do you say it?
Isn't it?
Wow.
I'm with you on that.
Yeah, homie, come, East African.
XO.
In the movie, Gods Must Be Crazy.
That's
And
my
the
language.
answer is?
Eh? Oh, now.
Wow. Now.
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 That's the
Yeah,
exclamation
that's
mark
the
right there.
exclamation, yeah.
The N comes, then the click.
Then the click. It's
Now.
like, here we call it NKT, when you're irritated. And there he is. You know, someone did a follow-up of this story. Did you guys ever watch that?
No.
Someone did a follow-up, I think it was on BBC, where they went back to find out where this guy was. And it's literally like time stood still. He's in the same exact place. Yes, he's older, definitely.
Yeah.
And the little kids have become adults, but same village, same the only thing he had on were, now he had shorts. He had shorts and a torn t-shirt, but it was a really sad story of a movie that became so big and
But
was
he's still-
celebrated, but you know, the people who, it's a sad thing.
Awesome.
It's a sad thing, but thanks guys.
My language, Xhosa, is
Xhosa.
it's close to, well,
Whether
it's taken from,
Yeah.
mostly of it, from the Bushmen and the Khoisan.
Wow.
Yeah, Xhosa.
Just,
Yeah, there's a tongue twister.
Is that the alphabet?
I can't. All right, we asked you, here are the winners for money and some hampers. Cash goes to Carl Otieno.
Oh, sorry, another call. Sorry.
And then
Okay.
you thought it was a car? Everybody gets a car.
Getting paid
Salim
twice.
Totom Zuri, Rogers Rota, congratulations. And to find out if you are the lucky winner for the tickets, you must log on to AM Live NTV on Facebook. We'll be very happy to share that information with you. But it's happening tonight. Be there or be square. You're going to miss out. I'm going to be there. Y'all are going to be there, right?
I think so. Yeah.
All right. Say bye, everybody.
Bye.
Have a great weekend, everyone. All right, can we play some music? Can we get some songs in the studio? Yeah. The Sweatshirt people.